Ladies and gentlemen, the good news for No Man's Sky keeps going. It seems that the first update of 2020, Living Ship update that we got just a couple of days ago, is just the first of a long series of hopefully many more updates that are going to be releasing in 2020 according to Hello Games' latest development update number 7 that was posted literally moments ago. So some really exciting news. We're going to go over all of this in just a little bit, and I had a ton of fun with the Living Ship update. As a matter of fact, I am still enjoying it. I'm, having a ton of fun in it, and I'm kind of in the works of making a review of it and kind of giving my impressions of it all, since, well, obviously it brought some really interesting changes here. So look forward for that video, but in the meantime, let's go over what Hello Games and ultimately Sean Murray has to say in the newest development update number 7 that was released today. So let's start this right here, and it begins like this. One of our favorite things is watching the community research tiers fill up the Galactic Atlas. We love seeing the community working together to unlocking the latest Traveler Visage, base parts, or jetpack trail. This past week we felt especially excited, of course pun intended, about your progress, and it was lovely to finally reveal what has been growing inside those void eggs. Some of you had been incubating for a few days, and of course we also have the trailer right here that you can go and watch in case you haven't watched it already. Definitely do so because it is absolutely stellar. Nonetheless, 2019 was another huge year for No Man's Sky. Beyond was our biggest update so far, introducing full VR support, significantly improved multiplayer, and deepening so many other areas of the game. The update welcomed a huge number of new players and veteran travelers alike back to the game. In November of 2019, we released a quality of life update, Synthesis, which in some respects was even more significant, especially for the long-term members of the community. It was an update which pulled a lot of the strands of the game and the 7 previous updates together, and we have been thrilled to see record numbers of players coming and playing for longer. And that is actually true. I checked the Steam charts, not entirely sure exactly how it is on the PS4 or the Xbox version of the game, but well, Steam version managed to keep a higher number of players playing over like longer periods of time. Like every time you log into the game, you're going to see like 5,000-6,000 players, sometimes 8,000, and right now there's about like 10,000 people playing at the same time. Of course, the game also feels very populated, especially if you go on the space anomaly. So honestly, I never thought that I would see No Man's Sky still being quite relevant in like 2020, 4 years after its release. Anyway, we still found time to have some fun, as evidenced by the music making Byte Beat update in December. We have really enjoyed hearing your amazing compositions. As ever, you have taken the ball and run with it far beyond what we even thought possible. We hope you are enjoying our first update of 2020, the Living Ship update, hopefully the first of many. As ever, our journey continues, and this is like the big important piece, the fact that they are saying and pretty much confirming that the journey is going to continue in 2020 as well. So this is huge news. Basically, this means that we are set for at least another update this year. Maybe it's going to be the size of Beyond or Next. I really enjoy these updates, like a huge mega update every like 8 months to just like blow you out of the water. That sounds amazing. But even if they don't, and if they continue with something like the Living Ship update with smaller size updates but on a more regular basis, that's still going to be pretty awesome. At the end of it, it's still going to be a ton of new content, and it probably is going to keep players for longer in the game as new updates are dropping on a more regular basis. So whatever they do, I'm pretty sure they have a pretty nice, idea of what is about to come in the game. They always surprise the fan base with the things they add, and like this Living Ship update is the best example. Nobody expected living ships, nobody expected these alien looking ships to be added in the game, and even more so many of the other accompanying features that were added with the new update. Nonetheless, it also looks like the featured bases are going to get a refresh finally. I think it's been like months since the two bases featured on the Space Anomaly actually have been changed. So according to the notes over here, the bases featured at the Space Anomaly Teleporter are going to be refreshed, well, pretty much with the update that dropped today or is about to drop. I'm pretty sure that it's now live on all of the versions of the game. If you didn't see it, go ahead and check out the video before this, as I already covered those changes. But we continue to be amazed by your talent and creativity, and hope everyone enjoys visiting this new set. So I'm really curious to see exactly what these are, because they are probably going to look pretty insane. Also, by the way, the weekend is here, so you know what that means. It means that we have a brand new set of community research missions for this weekend that you definitely should be doing right now, because these reward you quite a nice number of Quicksilver, about 1000 Quicksilver or more if you do this mission. And there's a ton of players on the Space Anomaly. You're going to have a very easy time to group up with people, and even if you don't, you can go in, solo it, and there's most probably going to be people on the other side, on the destination planet, that help each other out. So maybe you can find some friends and maybe, you know, kind of make like a group in No Man's Sky and go start your own adventures. Anyway, what does this mean in terms of updates for 2020 now that we know that Hello Games is planning for more this year, and what can we expect actually in terms of updates for the game later down the months? Well, I think that the latest update, the Living Ship, is kind of a good indication of what at least Hello Games has planned for the game this year. And we saw this, for example, with these random encounters that are happening all over the place. This enhances the exploration just a little bit. It's probably going to be just a start of what is going to happen later on, with probably a bigger update. Hopefully, at least that's what I'm hoping. But I think that this is a good indication that Hello Games is now starting to realize that exploration needs to be addressed in a more significant way, and this has been a great start. Previously, just warping between two planets was kind of like the most boring aspect of the game. It was pretty much a dead time, a waiting game of you just staring at your screen for about 30 seconds to a minute and not being able to do anything. The fact that they added these random encounters, particularly to these situations, kinda gives me an idea that Hello Games is starting to recognize that the game does need a bit more reasons to give players to go out and explore. So hopefully we will see something similar to this, but on planet surfaces, maybe like new random encounters on planet surfaces, maybe even new types of biomes, or maybe, you know, new types of events. Like, what if we had geological events in No Man's Sky? We talked about volcanoes, asteroids, showers, and all of that in the past. What if this was the case in No Man's Sky as well, and kind of go in and really be under danger on one of these planets that's probably are undergoing some cataclysmic event? I would really love to see something like this happening in No Man's Sky. Of course, it also seems that Hello Games do love their ships, and they also enjoy doing it through these kinds of missions, this kind of new lore that they like adding from time to time. So I'm expecting some more lore being added in the future as well. Maybe it's not going to be in the form of new ships. I don't think we're gonna get new ships for at least a year at this point. Maybe a freighter, like an organic freighter at this point, I think would make sense to kind of go hand in hand with the new alien ship that we just got. Maybe like a real mothership. I would love that. I'm not keeping my hopes too high, but it would go really well with the theme. Just giving hints, but what if this was the case in the future? What if Hello Games decided to kinda up that freighter game to the next level? This hasn't been updated for about like 2 years at this point, at least not in a significant manner. It's kind of the same as it was in the next update in 2018, so we might get to see something done in that regards as well. And again, this also brings me again to that lore I was talking about. Maybe some new story content added in there with some new, you know, characters for us to meet, maybe some new civilizations, maybe something to go alongside with this, some new customization options for the character as well. I'm just giving ideas and throwing hints over here, but it could pretty much go either way. Like, Hello Games is known to constantly surprise its own fan base, even though it's done in a way to satisfy the current needs of the fan base, if that makes any sense. Anyway, on a final note, patch 2.31 1, the one that I've announced previously today, is pretty much up on all the consoles right now, or it should be by the time this video gets posted. I'm pretty sure that I saw PS4 players reporting that it went live. This is supposed to fix many of the bugs associated with the new Starbirth mission, so if you didn't get a chance to see these, go ahead and check out the development update, or check out my previous video where I go in a bit more detail and explaining all of these changes. But yeah, I think that this is it with the news so far. I am pretty happy with the game right now. I'm loving it, I'm loving the new update, and I'm loving it even more now that I know that there's going to be more updates dropping this year. Hopefully we're gonna see something PS5 related as well. But in the meantime, let me know down below, how would you prefer your updates in No Man's Sky? Like, do you prefer bigger updates that last like 6 or 8 months to develop, such as for example Beyond or Next, or do you prefer smaller updates but on a more regular basis, like for example the latest Living Ship update that we just got? Post your comments down below, and in the meantime, as always, don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell, and I will see you guys next time.